So here we are back again. Thank you for joining us again for another beautiful weekend here. We had some bad weather this week, but that's all passed and has melted away. We got a beautiful Saturday here, and I'm making a different video, not the usual one. We've been working on the old Chevy trucks, everything like that. And this one is for my daily driver, 2010 Ford F-150 and 5.4, the famous 3-valve. And we got some phaser issues, and I had put Dorman XD phasers from AutoZone on there, and with the Duralast VCT solenoid, or solenoid, however you want to say it, and it just didn't last. I'd heard that the XD phaser was pretty good and hold up pretty good, but maybe just the combination of that Duralast VCT solenoid with that is why. But we got the old famous 3-valve tick going on, which everything else we've gone through. When I put this motor in, I just replaced with Ford timing components. Of course, the milling oil pump is on here as well. The I watch a lot of Ford Tech Make You Loco. He does great job on his videos, everything like that. So all this information I have, I've copied off of, I've been watching his videos, and so that's how I know how to do this. I've done this a couple of times. Hopefully this is the last time. And what I'm doing is I really don't want to do the lockout thing, but we may in the future do that. But we're going to replace the phaser and the VCT solenoid with Ford parts. They seem to last a long time. I did this in the tow truck, and it sounds great. It runs great, everything like that. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm not taking the whole timing cover. I'm just changing it from the top. And I got the little tool that you jam down in between the chain against the tensioner, and it holds it in place. And we're going to go from it that way. I also want to note that Shop Hound passed away. I don't know what really happened. He just got sick, and maybe poison. I don't know. There's some poison out. Live out in the country. I don't know. You never know what's out. Or he caught something, or maybe polo. But I thought he had all the shots. I thought he was good, but so he was a couple weeks ago, and I really hadn't made any videos. Really hadn't felt like it. Just kind of went the same for a little bit. But here we are. Like I said, different case here. So I'm going to go in here and show you where we're at and kind of each stage of the process. And maybe this will help some of you guys out. But if you really want Ford Tech Make You Loco, if you have this problem, you have the Ford truck, 5.4, 3-valve, or 4.6, even the Coyote motor, and even the Eco Boost, all that, this guy is great. Once again, Ford Tech Make You Loco. He's where I get all my information, and his videos are a great resource. I just hope to maybe help out the side guy here, to kind of, just the every average day, kind of show you that you can watch his videos and then you can do it yourself. But, and the Ford parts are really not that much higher than the AutoZone parts, maybe $80 higher. So we're going to take these AutoZone parts and get our money back for them because they got a lifetime guarantee. And I think it was like $365 for the VCT solenoid and the Ford VCT solenoid and the Ford phaser. And so, and that's at my local Ford dealership. I didn't order them online or anything like that. They keep them in stock, and it's reasonably priced. So not much difference then. Please, on this, take my advice. Do not go with and the reason why I didn't go with the Ford parts to begin with, they were out of stock at the moment, and I was in a hurry to get this back on the road. And so it just, I should have waited. and I'd be saving myself some work right now. But so take my advice, please go with Ford parts. If you're anytime you're going with these things, the aftermarket stuff just doesn't work well. I don't know if it's because Ford is so over engineered that it's hard for these aftermarket companies to copy their design or what have you, but I just feel like Ford vehicles are really kind of over designed, and sometimes, you know, just bites you in the butt, bites everybody in the butt on it. But anyway, I have talked way too long. Okay, so this is one of daily drivers. This is my main daily driver. Been driving my haul rig or truck I used to haul this junk with. But anyway, this one here is 2010 Ford F-150 5.4, and we got some phaser issues. I've replaced them with, oh, I believe Dorman, but anyway, they didn't last. I thought they would, but no, they didn't. So I'm going back with, I've already replaced the passenger side. I'm going to replace the driver's side, and I'm going to go back with Ford phaser and Ford VCT solenoid. Hopefully this will be the last time, but here we go. We're going to get started on this and try to get this done today. I like to get her back out on the road, and I really enjoy driving. It's a good vehicle, and this motor's fairly, it'd been rebuilt. It probably around 100,000 miles or so. Anyway, here we go. Okay, so we got the air cleaner and intake off. Next, we're going to blow out here. A lot of sediment likes to get down there on top of the valve cover, so that way when we open this up, don't want any of that to fall in, or keep it to as much of a minimum as possible. So we're going to blow it out, and then we're going to start taking the coil packs out, and then taking the valve cover, because we're going to change this phaser from the top. We got our little tool that'll hold the chain in place, and then we got our air impact to break torque on it, and of course to use to torque it back. Okay, so here we are. We got the valve cover off, and we haven't changed anything yet. This motor has roughly 100,000 miles. Yeah, it's got some tarnish. I try to keep the oil and filter changed every 5,000 miles like suggested and everything, so sometimes it goes over a little bit. You know how that is, guys. So we're going to change the VCT solenoid. It has a little star there, and of course we're going to mark the timing chain and the phaser here, and we're going to put the new phaser in the same position, and I'm going to get it turned around to where, as you can see, the right and the left mark are on the side. So I'm going to turn it by hand. Well, not by hand, but you know, with a socket and a wrench. So we're going to get that turned to where I can get, just keep better, you know, my lines and my timing marks and everything like that. Okay, so this is the tool, just a wedge, and we're going to jam it down in here. Jam it down in here, as you can see, and it's going to go in between the chains. We're going to come from behind. Sorry, we're going to jam it down in. The good thing, it's bendable. You can kind of work it around in there. There are certain positions you can kind of get it in, and it's going to kind of get in your way. I think I remember exactly how to, but like I said, Ford Tech Make You Loco, he already has that. And so, I mean, he explains it just exactly a lot better than I will. But anyway, so the point is that we're going to go down in here, see the two chains with the chains, and we're going to jam it in, and it's going to push against the tensioner and hold this timing chain in place. And we're going to mark our timing mark, highlight that, and then we're going to mark the two chain links that it's in between, and a good color pen or paint pen or something like that. And then of course you can wipe it off later if you're worried about it. Here's our Ford parts. This is the phaser, and what you want to do really, because sometimes even coming from Ford and they're shipped, you want to inspect it, because these ears here give us, you know, your cam phaser or your cam sensor can tell. It goes back to the computer and tells, you know, the position obviously, and it goes by, it's magnetic, so it goes by these ear marks on here. If these if these ears are bent, then it's too far out and it can't pick it up magnetically, so it don't know where it's at, and it'll throw a code. And so you got to inspect these, because even from Ford they'll get damaged, and I've had that happen. And of course, Ford Tech Make You Loco, I'd watched one of his videos, and that's what he experienced the same thing. And of course, what comes with it, they say it's a kit, in which the real expensive part of it is a boat. If you just want to go and replace the boat and do the lockout thing, these boats are pretty expensive just by themselves. So, and it's all right, guys. So we're going to get started. We're going to get these marked, get this rolled around, get it just right, and get it marked, and we're going to get it off. I like to use an impact wrench. Makes things torquing it down so much easier. Okay, so we got them marked. Yeah, probably overkill, but just to let you know, I couldn't find a marker back. It's been a while back, and so I just got some nail polish to kind of do that. And sometimes you just got to do what you got to do with what you got. Okay, so we got the new phaser on. We haven't put the VCT solenoid in, but we got it torqued down to 30 foot-pounds. Everything's lined up. There's a pin in the back of that phaser that you need to get lined up with that camshaft. You don't want to shred that pin off. And of course, you want to make sure you use the new boat, because it's because you got to not just torque it to 30 foot-pounds, but you got to go an additional 90 degrees. Sorry, I lost the term that it's called right now, but it's torque to, I can't remember, but anyway, that boat gets stretched by doing that extra 90 degrees. And if you try to reuse the boat, it can cause problems and shred off. But anyway, so far so good. And if you notice there, I went ahead and put a little line on that boat, so I can kind of get a good idea of 90 degrees, because I'm going to use the impact to do it. And then just kind of stop periodically and check until I get it to roughly that 90 degrees. So the VCT solenoid takes a little star bit here, T25, and then you just, when you're done, you just pull out your timing chain or the wedge, and it's good to go. We're going to go back. Yeah, we're going to get the marks off we made, and then when I pull the cam sensor out to give some more room to get that out, and mine broke in half. Usually if you get that code that the cam sensor, it's normally not, they say that these sensors on these Fords last forever, so usually when you get that code, it's something more to it than just that. So unfortunately, that right there will probably be aftermarket, probably from AutoZone. forward place is closed. And then we're going to change the oil and filter as well. And we're going to get the valve cover back on. What I did with the valve cover is I put a little Permatex on the valve cover, and I got my gasket in there so that way, because a lot of times that gasket will slip on you when you're going back putting the valve cover back on, and that way it won't slip. It'll hold in place and you can get it bolted back in easier, the valve cover. And then just putting the cool pack or the cools on, and we're good to go. Okay, so here we are. We got it bolted back. We got the valve cover back on. Cool packs in. Everything hooked back up. The only thing we got to do is put the air intake back on and this fangled air box thing. Anyway, yeah, just being a goofball there. Okay, and then we're just fire it up and see how it goes. Still got to change the oil and filter on it. I like to fire it up and see what it does, how it sounds first. And start about noon, a little after noon. It's 4 o'clock now. And plus we had to run into town, go to AutoZone, and a few breaks here and there to kind of thing. But, about a 4-hour